Well, we're back once again, as always, and I always find it just a joy to do it. I'm going to dive right into this because I have, once again, one of my very own, one of my very special people, and I'm serious about it, and that is you,
Thank you.
LaWanda.
Thank
You
you.
are, I just think you're a jewel. You are a heaven sent in our community, and we need to continue to find more people who are advocates and strong voices, such as yourself.
Thank
And
you.
last week we were talking about voting,
Yes.
the difference between registering and getting out to vote. We talked about politicians and their lack of true support to what it is they say they're going to do, and then when you try and talk with them, they run and hide or throw somebody else in the way. You're a man, you're a woman, get out there
Get
and
out
get
there.
to your face.
Yes.
We got you in here and we need your support. And then we focus a lot on the civil rights issues, and we're going right back into that.
Okay.
And you and I were just having a discussion a minute ago about the civil rights involvement in that, and where are our politicians who say they are for the people.
Right. You know, when you get pulled over by the
Mhm.
police, or somebody makes a phone call, it's your word against their word.
Mhm.
And everybody is supposed to have a right to a speedy trial and a fair trial. But we find that if you're in the minority and you don't have the funding, you find yourself in a position to have to take what they give you. And that's a total violation of your civil rights, because where's the fairness in that? If you find that you don't have the money to afford the top-notch attorney, you're out there on a boat sinking fast.
And I love our public
Seeking.
defenders, because that's why I
Okay.
wanted to go after law school,
Okay,
was
well,
public
the
defender's
public
office.
defenders, but let me tell you about that. You have your DA's office and you have your public defenders. They all work for the state, first of all.
Yeah.
But where does the funding go?
Uh-huh.
To the DA's office, and then the poor public defenders are left
Struggling.
to struggle, those that are helpless. And so why don't our politicians, and I know there's some efforts to increase the public defender's office, but where is it at? Why is it taking so long? People are signing off and giving up their lives because they don't have the money to afford a fair trial. It's not right.
And I know, and I love it because you're so passionate about it, because that's how I am, with the legal background myself, and having constantly worked in the system, and having been the director over the NAACP legal redress department for many, many years. I saw and tackle this. I worked closely with the prosecutor's office, the public defender's office, private attorneys, and you see our people, and when I speak of our people, our community people, and if you look at it in terms of, you break it down in terms of culture and ethnicity, minorities are at the top level, because there's so many factors that don't allow for them to afford the attorneys. Now it's
a
not just
disparity.
on the politicians and corporate America, it's on us as well, but we have to do our part, and we have to show, and it's sad, but it is what it is. We have to show as minorities, we have to show that we're out there trying to make this difference. So the question then still comes in, how do we get people to understand the civil rights, and how do we get corporate America, and how do we get the politicians to understand it's not just about you. It's
Right.
about what do we do?
And that's why it circles back again to voting. When you have a city manager or even a county manager, the county commissioners approve that position. The city council members approve that position. If we aren't getting what we need as a people, it's another disconnect. And so we have to point out those disparities. Guys, you don't like who's running our city? You have to vote for city council members, and you have to vote for county commissioner members that have the same mindset that you have. We got to hone in on that. Voting and politics is the basis of getting things changed. We can march, and I believe in marching, but we got to do something more. We can't stop there. I'll hold the banner, I'll march, but then I'm saying we got to do something next. And it's time to start grooming our own politicians. There's a particular party, they're good at it. They are grooming. You go down the poll or whatever, there's not an empty space on some tickets, right? But on others, there's one person running or nobody running. So we got to start grooming our young people now to fill those roles. And that's why I like working with young people. We got to start changing mindsets. If you want to see something different in the future, you got to do something different right now. And so people that sit in those seats right now, they got to start hearing the people vote for you just because you're in that seat. We got to see something different. And if we are talking about the same thing now that we talked about 10 years ago, 5 years ago, there's a disconnect. We got to do something different.
That's why I love it, because you speak so much truth and life into that. And I know we are coming up on voting.
Yes.
It's time to start voting for positions and stuff now.
We got elections now, and then next year, 2020, 2022, big elections are coming.
Well, guess what? Guess who's going to be back on here with me next week?
Who?
You.
I'm ready.
We'll be back
ready.
next week to talk more about this, because it is a serious matter.